So I feel like we're seeing these headlines every week, and we are. So the Israelis, they've killed another Palestinian child, 15 years old. Hold on, let me bring up his picture for you. 1 second. Here he is. Ali bin Ali, 15, man. They killed him on December 4th. They shot him in the stomach. Dead. Now, what the Israelis are saying, they're saying that, oh, it wasn't live ammunition. It was a rubber bullet. Yeah, you still killed him. Why are you shooting a 15-year-old with any ammunition? That's if you give them the benefit of the doubt. We know goddamn well that they use live ammunition. Dude, do you remember when you had the right to return marches at the border? Abby Martin, she did great coverage of this. They were killing hundreds of people and also crippling them, right? On purpose. Like it's I'm not sitting here and exaggerating it and being like, doing hyperbole. No. They literally cripple Palestinians to make sure that, the next generation of men, of just, the youth can't resist. That's if they're not just flat out bombing them, right? And executing them. They crippled, they injured thousands of people and killed hundreds. So they claimed that he was throwing a rock, right? Their response, the IDF's response was that, oh, well, this was riot control, right? That's what they're saying. They're saying it was a riot. They were firing tear gas, and they used rubber-coated metal bullets. Now, I want to make something very clear here. Once again, if you don't like Palestinians throwing rocks at you, maybe you should leave Palestine. Yes? When you invade someone's land, when you subjugate them, when you murder them, when you treat them like subhuman, they're going to throw rocks at you, if not something else. The fact that they're using this as an excuse, he didn't even participate in any protests, right? It's not true that he threw any rocks at anyone. Even if that were true, how does someone throwing a rock at you, how does a kid throwing a rock at you mean that you can murder them? I mean, that doesn't just make you a murderer, it makes you a pussy as well. You're a soldier, and you killed someone because they threw a rock at you. You are a piece of shit and a pussy. Where's the international condemnation? Not a fucking word. You think they're going to talk about this on CNN? You think they're going to talk about this on the BBC? They will cut you off. Oh yeah, best believe they've done that a lot of times. They will cut you off on the air if you bring up what Israel does to Palestinians. And he's not the only one. So this is from this is from October 25th. Ahmed Snowbar. They also killed him. I posted by accident that he was 18, but he was actually 17. There he is. Ahmed Snowbar. So what happened with him is they clubbed him to death. You have 6 IDF soldiers. They beat him to death with their rifle butts. And then they claimed that he tripped and fell. That's not a joke. That's the official statement. Oh, he tripped and he fell. He was running away from us and he fell on his head. Now, I know that's bullshit because the IDF are fucking liars. And I saw the video of his body in the morgue. I'm not going to show it to you, but I saw the video on the day that it happened. His whole chest, bruises everywhere, blood. He didn't fall on his head. He was beaten to fucking death. I mean, the level of inhumanity, the fucking brutality it's just unreal. It doesn't stop. It really doesn't, you know? It's like they think Palestinians are ants. They dehumanize them to the point where, you know, it's they don't even see them as humans. They kill women, they kill children, they don't give a shit. I mean, could you imagine if 6 Palestinians beat an Israeli boy to death with rifles? They would start a world war. But it's okay for them to do that to Palestinians, right? Unfucking believable. And the mainstream media does not talk about it. No one says a goddamn word. Not a fucking word. This guy's gone, man. They fucking murdered him. That's a life. Well, he didn't do a thing, man. He didn't do a thing. If you go read the story at, ironically, the only place you'll find any reporting about this in English is, I think it was Haaretz, right, which is an Israeli newspaper, and they talked about Snowbar, and he was helping his friend fix his car, and his friend ran away because their car was illegal. Because if you're Palestinian and you're in Palestine, you're not allowed to have a car, right? You need a permit from the Israeli occupiers. Fucking unbelievable, right? So he went to help his friend, and he ended up just they beat the shit out of him. They killed him. They murdered him in fucking cold blood. And of course, no one is punished. Like, you're dreaming. You think someone's going to get punished for that? This is policy. This is policy. This is normal. If you man, I was looking up Snowbad story. I typed in Google 17-year-old Palestinian killed. Go do that and look how many results come up. It's endless. Like, there are so many incidents of this. It's fucking unreal. Like, this is brutality on another level. It's straight up genocide and ethnic cleansing. And complete violation of international law. Like, we have conventions specifically to protect kids. They don't give a shit. And the UN is reminding them of that. They don't care. Look, so going back to Ali, who was killed this month on December 4th. We had a statement from UNICEF, right? So they're talking about Ali, who was shot and killed. 4 other Palestinian children were shot and severely injured in the West Bank in the past 2 weeks. These 4 children are between the ages of 15 and 16. They were injured in the chest, the eye, and the head. 2 continue to get treatment at the intensive care unit. 1 child lost his eye. I mean, this is just... It's heartbreaking, man. It really is. And if you guys remember, also I reported on Iyad Hala, who's 32 years old, 32-year-old Palestinian man, and he was he had autism, right? And they killed him 30th of May, I think. So yeah, end of May, beginning of June, they killed him in Jerusalem. They executed him, man. Like, it's it's hard to talk about this shit, man. Like, it's just, they fucking shot him with an M16 in the chest, man. They shot him in the leg because they thought he's a terrorist, even though he doesn't even know what a terrorist is. The guy has special needs. He was on his way to special needs school. He goes the same way every single day. And he was holding gloves because of the pandemic. He was wearing a mask. He was holding gloves. They shot him in the leg, and then they chased him to a garbage disposal room, and his teacher was there, and she was begging them, please don't kill him. He has autism. He's disabled. He doesn't understand what you want. And they fucking shot him with an M16 in the chest. They executed him. Didn't give a fuck. I mean, it is, what is that? And the stuff also about I wrote a whole thread about disabled Palestinian men that have been killed by the Israeli defense forces, or occupation forces they should be called, or by the Israeli border police, right? And I mean, they're not the only ones. Man, let me just pull this up for you. Take a look at this. This is from 2002, I believe, right? Israel demolished a refugee camp. And I mean, when you say in English, when you use the phrase razed to the ground, literally razed to the ground. Okay? So not only have they stolen the Palestinians' land, not only are they making them live as refugees on their own land, without statehood, without rights, in camps. No, they're raising the refugee camps so they can build settlements. And this is one account from that. Take a look. Jamal Fayed, 38 and severely disabled, was killed on 11th of April 2002 when the bulldozing of his home caused a wall to collapse on him. The family had shown the soldiers preparing to demolish the house Jamal Fayed's ID to prove that he was paralyzed and could not get out of the home without their help. The soldiers refused to help, and soon after, a bulldozer approached the house. The family yelled at the driver to stop. He did not, and Jamal Fayed, still trapped inside the house, was killed. I mean, Allah la يوفقون. They crushed a disabled man with a fucking bulldozer. I mean, who does that? And this is not like some unique incident. You remember Rachel Corrie? Let me show you who Rachel Corrie is. She's an American activist. She went to Gaza. Look what happened to her. She was 23, crushed to death by Israeli armored bulldozer. They fucking crushed her to death. I mean, the level of inhumanity and evil here is just, it's unprecedented, man. I mean, I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. Like, for all the fucking anger and sadness, like, it's just, you see shit like this, and it's just like, how the fuck can one human being do that to another? I don't get that. I really don't. So, but of course, if you open your mouth and you talk about this brutality, you're anti-Semitic. It's just fucking unbelievable, right? This is why part of the BDS movement, boycott, divestment, sanctions, specifically needs and does target companies that provide the Israelis with bulldozers. I mean, not just because of this fucking savagery of crushing human beings, but I mean, the whole country is a settler colony. They just bulldoze people's homes in front of them. You remember that video of the girl that they bulldozed her house in front of her? Go look it up on the channel. It's just a few months ago. This is a regular occurrence. This is not some one-off thing. If you think these things that I'm telling you about are like one-off things or occasional, it's because the media is not reporting on them. It's not telling you about them. And you got to ask yourself something, man. Like, even if this happened once or twice, how the fuck is that still okay? It's still not okay. It's still evil. It's still abysmal and abhorrent. I mean, they come around then and say they're the only democracy in the Middle East. What the fuck? What the fuck, man? I'm at a loss for words, and I'm just disgusted. I really am, man. Heartbreaking. So if you want to read more about that, I did videos on Iyad Halla, who was killed again end of May, around the same time as George Floyd. And I did a whole thread over here, if you want to read it on Twitter, about other Palestinian, disabled Palestinian men who've been killed by the Israelis. So June 7th, right? So I can put the link below. So there you go. Allah yarhamon.